Hey guys, my name is Robbie Fleener, and I'm a freshman here at the University of Arkansas. I went to Bentonville High School, which is located in Bentonville, Arkansas. I had a few art classes in Bentonville, but nothing that actually explains the history behind the works of art. And I really like knowing the history of things, which is why I'm enjoying this class a lot. This particular piece I've chosen is located at Crystal Bridges Museum of Modern Art, which is in Bentonville, Arkansas. And the title of the work is A Tight Fix, Bear Hunting. This masterpiece was painted by Arthur Fitzwilliam Tate. Arthur Fitzwilliam Tate spent the early years of his life around Liverpool, England. When Arthur was 8, his father, who was a maritime merchant, couldn't make ends meet, so he had to send Arthur to live with relatives in the country of the outskirts of Lancaster. It was in this relocation that he discovered a true passion for the outdoors. His newfound love for animals, nature, hunting, and fishing proved to be very inspirational down the road for his works of art. He then came to America in 1850. He started by romanticizing nature and those who dwell there. This artwork was painted in 1856, just years before the Civil War. As you can imagine, racial tensions had never been higher. This particular piece was created during the gruesome war of the slavery in the Kansas Territory. One particularly controversial topic of this work is what the bear represents. Some other works of art of the time, such as literature, depict scenarios where white men are hunting runaways for sport. In these works, they are often represented by bears. Tate utilized the elements of art in order to make his piece stand out above the rest. The first element I see in his work was the use of lines. He used vertical lines to depict a dense forest and really lay the groundwork for the rest of the painting. Tate also created the illusion of depth. This was done by making the characters in the front bigger than the one in the back. This painting is full of biomorphs. The shape of the bears and the men are almost completely irregular. Tate knew that comprising this masterpiece of certain colors would make the viewer feel a certain way. The use of dark hues such as a brown and black that make up the figures really makes them stand out from the white snow and lighter trees. This painting was meant to represent the cultural atmosphere from the time period. That's why the racial struggle between white and blacks is represented in this image. He also used very distinct textures to add a feeling of reality. The bear's fur, for instance, looks very soft to the touch. The style of this painting can only be described as romanticized. It is very doubtful that this actual event happened in the way it is depicted. I'm going to analyze this painting by using the deconstruction method. First of all, we don't know if the artist was there painting as this happened. Did he paint this from memory or from a story? It is impossible for the viewer to know. We don't even know if this truly happened, or if he just created this scene purely by imagination. One must ask the question, why didn't the man shoot the bear when he had his gun? And how did he get separated from the gun? The other man must also be analyzed. What is he looking at? Why isn't he aiming his gun at the bear? He could be aiming at the other bears that are headed towards him, but it is not true to assume this. Also, why are they there in the first place? Did they come looking for bears to kill? It is impossible to know by looking solely at this picture. By using the deconstruction method, one must agree that the work has no ultimate meaning conferred by the author. This painting can be categorized as being romanticized. More specifically, this work would fall under the category of American Romanticism. In romantic art, nature, with its uncontrollable power, unpredictability, and potential for cataclysmic extremes, offered an alternative to the ordered world of the enlightened thought. Nature plays a huge role in romanticism, and it is very prominent in my chosen artwork. People of the time were drawn to the power and danger of nature. The image of a bear and a man wrestling is very provoking, and this type of work was very common during this movement. During this particular movement, paintings tended to be compromised mostly dark colors to portray specific emotions. It is very evident that mine falls under this category. One of the works of art that influenced Tate's work was Kindred Spirits by Asher Brown Durand. Immediately one can see that both have a focus on nature and both are visually stimulating. Both of these are supposed to give the viewer a taste of the awe of nature. Tate's gives one that feeling by depicting the ruthlessness and savageness of the wild animals that live there, while Durand's gives a sense of the awe just by the massive scope of the artwork. It was painted on a huge scale. They also use dark colors for the most part, like brown and dark green. Finally, the textures of both are painted in a way to give... When I first saw this piece, I was really intrigued. Personally, I've always had a fascination and love of nature. One thing that I really love about nature is the unpredictability of it all. You really never know what is going to happen. That was really encompassed in this piece. Prior to researching this art, I thought it was only a scene of danger from the outdoors, but it turned out to be a symbol for the conflict between persons of color and whites during the time that it was painted. It amazed me that the struggle and conflict of an entire nation could be portrayed by one painting. A Tight Fix bear hunting had a profound impact back when it added fuel to the racial fire, and it still does today when I started to research it. I can honestly say I think that this is a masterpiece and is one of my favorite paintings. I really enjoyed researching this work.